الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا قوا أنفسكم وأهليكم نارا وقودها الناس والحجارة عليها ملائكة غلاظ شداد لا يعصون الله ما أمرهم ويفعلون ما يؤمرون. صدق الله العظيم. My dear respected brothers and sisters who are listening, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We're here for a short time between Salah of Maghrib and Isha, and I've got a few important messages to give you, inshallah. And I have been here before. It's a very nice time to come back and see you here in New York, Masjid Al-Aman, and it's always a lively place to come here in front of the musallis who are here. And since most of you are from Bangladesh, and majority of you are from Sylheti, I kind of always resonate with you a bit more, and I'm able to spend a few more words with you a lot closer than I can in other parts of the world and other lectures that I do. So I've got a few messages to give you, and some of these messages I'm going to give you are for us as a community. And first of all, before I give you my messages, I want to ask forgiveness from you. I want to ask forgiveness from you before I give you the message, because after I give the message, then it's going to be too late for me to ask forgiveness from you. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? You don't understand? Well, you soon understand. So I'm going to give you some things that are going to be the truth with regards to us as a community, and this is for us because I am a Bengali myself and I'm from Sylheti myself, and because I am born and brought up as a person amongst you, I'll be able to tell you a few things that's going on which a lot of us might not be able to express, and most of the time we will not have the opportunity to listen to this from the imams or others that we employ in the masjids. In fact, what happens is a lot of us that employ the imams, we have to be very careful in what the imam says, because the imam's here on a daily basis, and the imam can be swayed by this party and swayed by that party, and the imam, if he says something at the front, then he can cause friction if he goes onto this side or if he goes onto that side. I understand that, but I am an imam from outside. So if I say something, you can say whatever you want to me, but inshallah this imam sahib will be safe, so he doesn't have to say these words to us. Now you're already thinking, what on earth am I going to say to you? Okay? So it's going to be things that actually we need. I'll give you an example. Every single community of the world has got many different good things about them, and it's also got certain things that are on the downside. They've got certain deficiencies. So any nation you look in the world, they will have a certain things that are virtue for them, and some things that are on the sort of downside, and things that they need to work on. With our Bengali community, especially the Sylheti community that we have, we've got, mashallah, alhamdulillah, we've got a lot of good things that a lot of other people talk about. One of the good things we've got is our generosity. We are a very good, generous people. And a lot of people talk about this, especially when you become a mehman or you become a guest in the house of a person from Bangladesh, then you know that you're going to be treated very well. You're not only going to get, let's say, one dish, you're going to get several dishes, and they will go out of their way to treat you. In fact, it's not only the people who have got wealth and money that will treat you, even poor people in Bangladesh will go out of the way to treat you and to give you a lot of food, a lot of hospitality, not just food, but a lot of hospitality. And this is something which we have got in our blood, that we always look after those that come to us. The other thing is that we as a community, we will very easily say sorry, to anyone if you hurt you. In fact, if you have ever seen a Bengali person walking away from the crowd, they're always putting their hand down first, okay? They put the hand down first, and then they walk through the crowd. You know why they do that? Just so that, they're making sure that they don't step on your feet, They're making sure that you can make a pathway for them. You know, they're not walking over your shoulders. You know, there's so much respect for others. Okay, that's good. So we're people that give respect to others. But you know, one thing that we fail on, that we've got a bit of a lack on, is that we have got this thing called ijjat. You know, ijjat? Ijjat is very, very big. If somebody steps on my ijjat, on my dignity, ijjat basically is dignity. If somebody crosses me with my dignity, then it's going to be all hell's going to break loose. Okay, that's how it is. It's like, I will treat you well, I'll do everything I can for you, but you better respect me. If you don't respect me, then I'm going to go the 10 miles or the 20 miles to make sure that I teach you a lesson that you'll never forget. You're going to remember my name, my dad's name, my granddad's name. You're going to remember my village's name. You're going to remember my bongcho's name. You're going to remember everything I to do with me, so that next time anyone ever messes with me, you're going to understand that you better not mess with me. That's how it is, okay? So what's happened to us is that we're very generous. We're very good people in terms of giving you respect, but we do not tolerate anyone disrespecting us. This is very high in the Bengali community. The other thing that you'll find in the especially the Sylheti Bengali sort of community is Allah Azza wa Jalla has made us as such people that we like to fall into a pattern and a rhythm of whatever we're doing. Okay? So whoever is doing something, we always like to follow the same pattern. However our fathers have done it, however our forefathers have done it, we always like to follow this, and especially our culture is based upon this. Our culture has a lot of different norms and behaviors that we all like to keep up. And we like, you know, you better make sure that this is always the case, that everyone follows this. We don't want anyone to go astray from these norms, these cultures, these behaviors we have. Okay? It's very strong in the Bengali community, very, very strong. And this was also amongst the Arabs of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam's time, that they had this very strong thing, inna wajadna aba'ana ala umma wa inna ala atharihim lamuhtadun. We found our forefathers on a way, and we're going to be exactly as our forefathers have been. Now there's a very strong thing about this, and there's also a negative thing about this. The strong thing about this is that when you follow a culture, a very strong culture, how your forefathers have laid it down, then it means that everyone's going to have order. Everyone will have order in what they do. And the negative thing about this is that when you have a strong culture like this and you want to make some change in your culture, you want to make some change in your society, then it's very difficult because people are going to be against this. Okay? So our Bengali culture that we have, Sylheti culture, we're very, very stuck on this culture. In fact, we're very hard to change. You know, other communities will even come to a community, like for example, the Pakistanis or the Indians, okay? They're from the same region that we're from. But when they came to the Western countries, when they came to England, when they came to America, when they came to Canada, they learned English quite quick. But we resisted. We learned it, but we'll learn it at the last stage. Because for us, what it is that it's our culture that is very important for us to keep, and we're going to make sure that, you know, we're speaking our language, which is a very positive thing. It's a positive thing, but it also can be a negative thing because we can be resistant to change. We can be very resistant to change. The other thing that we find, subhanallah, and this is common amongst the Indo-Pak South Asians, okay, is that when, you know, a lot of the Indians will sort of, you know, they'll make their shops and they'll make their sort of, you know, the sari shops, and they'll make their jewelry shops and so on. A lot of the Pakistanis came over and they got into the taxi driving. You'll find across these countries, whether it's England, whether it's New York here, you'll find a lot of the Pakistani drivers, they're into the taxi driving. Go to Dubai as well, you'll find a lot of the Pakistanis have gone to taxi driving. And then you go look at the Bengalis, the Bengalis early on, the Sylhetis, a lot of them went into these restaurant sort of businesses. Now they're kind of slowly diversifying, but they did get into that. In the beginning there was a lot of that. A lot of them got the same thing. Why? Because these South Asians, what they do is that they want to follow, if somebody has done something of their own kind, they want to follow the same thing. And they want to do the same thing as others and how they've done it. Now, one other thing I want to say to you, so I want you to keep these points in your mind as we're speaking. I want you to keep these points in your mind. One other thing is that each of these nations have got certain things that, make them, certain things that are very good about them, and certain things that will actually put them sort of at a disadvantage. One of the things that you'll find, subhanallah, amongst us as a crowd, as people who are from this part of the world, of Bangladesh, of Sylhet especially, is that we are a people whom Allah Azza wa Jal has made that we stay close together, yes, but at the same time what we do is we sometimes have amongst ourselves, we have two things. One is we have sometimes amongst ourselves some jealousy. If somebody is doing something, then we want to make sure that, we kind of feel that we should have done that thing, okay? Sometimes that happens amongst us. And another thing that happens amongst us is that we feel sometimes, quite a lot of the times, our culture is based upon this thing of showing off. A lot of things that happens in our Bengali community is based upon this, right? This thing about showing off, and this thing about us trying to, feel a little bit jealous that this person did it, no, I should have done it, or, I should become the person who's in charge of that, not that person. Now let me give you some examples and you'll understand, because I know I'm giving you certain principles and it might be a bit far-fetched, but let me give you some examples and you'll understand. When we have a wedding, like there was just a nikah here right now. This nikah that it was right now, every nikah that happens, there's a lot of formalities. There's a lot of formalities. And our culture is based upon our forefathers did this, we all have to do the same. Oh my God, if you don't do the same, then there's going to be, everyone's going to say, Yalla, yalla, bamshor, ijjot gelogi, oh my God, we've broken the tradition, and everyone's going to feel the same. Now, what is it that we do? So when we're having a proposal, and I'm talking specifically about us as a Bengali sort of community, especially from Sylhet, when we have a proposal, the first thing is that we are still, although you live in New York, you're still stuck with what people are doing in Bangladesh. Now these kids here, some of them, they were born second generation in New York, but you're still judging them by their great-grandfather who lived in Bangladesh. Okay? So if his father was from Moli Bazar, or his father or great-grandfather was from, Biani Bazar, or his great-grandfather was from Bishnath, or whichever part of Bangladesh, Jagannathpur, wherever it is, okay? Wherever they are, I love all of you, okay? But what happens is the people over here saying, Yalla, Yalla, straight away. Straight away. Now, what you got to understand is, can you please honestly ask me, are you in Jagannathpur? Are you in Biani Bazar? Are you in Balagunj? Are you in Bishnath? Are you in Boli Bazar? Are you in those places? And most importantly, this youngster who wants to marry this young girl, so Fatra and Fatri, the groom and the bride, who want to get married to each other, does he have, how much ounce of Moli Bazari has he got inside him? I'm not talking about his dad, I'm not talking about his grandfather, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about him. Okay, maybe some of you might still say, nah, we can't do this because we're going to have to mix in with them, right? That's a big thing that we say that. If we're going to get together with this marriage thing, then I'm going to have to make that man my BA. And I can't make that man my BA. I can't make him the father-in-law of my son because it's going to cause conflict between me and him. Okay? Now let's be honest with you. In a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, it said that when a good proposal and a good girl comes with the deen, if she's got religion in her and she's from a good background, she's from a good sort of standard of living and so on, then you should straight away agree to the marriage. Otherwise there will be fitna. Otherwise there will be a tribulation. Now, what happens often is that, now sometimes this happens, I want to just talk about it a little bit openly, and please forgive me for saying these things because someone's got to talk about this. The first thing is that they're not even thinking about whether they are from this tribe or that tribe. These kids are going to Bangladesh once in 5 years or once in 10 years. They've got no connection with Bangladesh. Their only connection with Bangladesh is a holiday. Your connection is very close with the people in Bangladesh, I understand that. But these kids, it's not the same. What you're going to find soon here, because you came later than us in England. Let me tell you what's happening in England. If I tell you what's happening in England, in terms of our development in England, we're way ahead of you because you came here in the 1980s. The end of the 70s, you came in the 80s. My father came to England in the 1950s. Okay, a lot of us came to England in the 60s. So we're kind of 20 years ahead of you. So if I remember 20 years back, it was almost a prohibition that you would have certain people, Bengalis marrying from outside the community. It was like a prohibition. It's not going to happen. And there was all arms up against this. Do you know there are several marriages now in England that are happening between the Bengali community, between the Pakistani community, between the Bengalis and the Indians? It's happening and it's now growing. Now you're going to say to me, Yalla, Yalla, Tawbah, Astaghfirullah. You're going to say that this is coming to us in New York. Well, I'm just telling you, it's on its way. It's going to happen. If it already hasn't happened, it's going to happen. But we've got another new fitna. We've got another new tribulation. I want you guys to wake up. You'll be lucky in 10, 15 years' time if all our kids agree to marriage. Already our children are not agreeing to marriage. They have tasted life. Already in college, university, they've tasted life. They don't want to get married. I want to share something with you. In 1998, I became an imam in North London. The average nikah certificate I was signing average age group of a nikah certificate I was signing was 22 years old and 23 years old. This was 1998 or something. About 10 years ago, when I did nikah certificates, when I was signing the nikah certificates and I looked at the average age of the groom and the bride, it was about 26 years old, 25, 26 years old. Today, 2019, 2018, 2019, when I'm signing the nikah certificates, I'm telling you right now, the average age has become 29 years old. 29 to 30 years old. And you know why that happened? Is because of us. And I want to tell you that a lot of things are happening here which are in our hands, but we are in some way spoiling a lot of things. These kids already have tasted, married life. It's not a married life, but it's a life that is haram. They tasted that in college, university. You're there sitting thinking that, oh, badioito, oh, bongshoito, oh, this and that. The first thing you need to look is this child of mine, is he going to seriously make this marriage something that is going to treat, somebody else's daughter is coming in my house. Somebody else's daughter is coming in my house. Somebody's son is going to take away someone's daughter and get married. And I tell you one thing, a lot of people are not discussing this, that the divorce rate in the Muslim communities, especially in the West, is going up. Is going up. And there's a reason why it's going up. The reason why it's going up is because first what we did is, we said, right? If the fatwa, or if the groom wants to get married, then he has to, this was 20 years ago. We said he has to be a decent person. 20, 30 years ago, we said a decent person, get them married, finish, khalas. It was very simple those days. You know what we did after that? We said if he's going to become a son-in-law, then he's got to have a degree. Degree Allah That's what we said, okay? This was about a good 15 years ago. We said, degree, then marriage, no degree, no marriage. So then all these boys, they got the degrees. Fine, okay, fine, I agree with you. Then after that, what happened is, the family said, the son has got the degree, the son-in-law's got the degree. So if he's going to get married to the family, then the daughter also has to have a degree. So what we then did is, we went out and we started to send all these daughters of ours. This never happened 25 years ago. Okay, this never happened 25 years ago. I know this. This only happened like in the last 15 years. So what happened is that we sent all our daughters to try and get all the degrees. Which again, I'm not against. You can do it, that's fine. But do you know what you've just done? What you've just done is, you now have prepared two of them that has spent the last 5 years, 4 years doing a degree. And what happens then is they've got the degree, but you know what? They're not really prepared for a married life. 25 years ago, that daughter would have been taught how to look after an entire house. Okay? That was what she was taught. Now, a lot of you are going to sit here and say, oh, Sheikh, you better not talk about that. That's against gender equality. Alright? Look, I'm not here. If you want to do gender equality, you want to put the man on top, the woman on top, you do what you like, my friend. I'm just telling you what's happened, okay? So what happens is they say Furi degree lagbo, the girl has to also have a degree. So then you get that. Then what they said is they said the son, the groom, if he's gonna be able to get a proposal, he has to have a good job. If he hasn't got a good job, you can't accept it. So now they finish the degree at 23, 24. Then what they do is they then spend another 2 years getting a job, securing the job, and then we said, okay, we'll accept him. Then came a time about 10 years ago, 8 years ago, we said, far to goror ekta deposit lagbo. The son who wants to, the son-in-law who wants to marry my daughter, if he wants to marry her, then he has to have the deposit for a house. Now we've moved to say he's got to have a house. Right, now you tell me, before the nikahs used to be done when he's 23, 24, they used to get married. And there was a very good thing about that. I'm going to tell you what the good thing about it is soon. Before 23, 24, they used to get married. Now he gets degree at 23, he gets a job 24, 25, then he has to save up. By the time he's got a little bit of money for a deposit for an apartment, he's already 29, also 30, sometimes 31 now. He's losing his hair on his head. Yes? He's losing his hair on his head. Then what happens is, the new thing is happening, right? At 23, 24, we said we're not ready. Proposals came. Yalla apnar furi je sundor ekta amra prostab ekta ache je sundor furi oguta apnara dein te amra maya kore rakhmo. If you give your daughter, we'll keep her very nicely. She's 22, 23. Kina amra furi degree hasil korte. Can you wait? She's got to get a degree. Okay. Yalla apnar furi 24, 25 Allah hoye gise. She's looking very nice. We've got a very good proposal. Proposals are coming. 10, 20 proposals come. At the age of 23, 24, 25, 26, then amra furi kisu lekha pora korche, kisu ekhon hamum hortoibo. She's got to work a little bit. Okay? Then what happens is she gets to 28, 29, 30, hoguru sul phori gese, bujrat apnara. Higuru matar sul phori gese, he's lost his hair on his head. Ar igo biallah hoye ufro hoye gese ekhon. She's now overqualified to get married. And then her proposals are less and less every year. Hasana misa hoka apnara. Hasana misa hoka. Ekhon proposal age aito, bosre aito, apnar 10ta, 20ta proposal aito. You used to get 10 to 20 proposals. Now every year you're getting 1 or 2. Why are you getting 1 or 2 every single year? Why? Because now people are saying, Yalla oto boro furi. Yalla oto boisho gise. 28 হয়ে গেছে 29 হয়ে গেছে ইয়াল্লাহ অতদিন খেও নিল না তে তুই গুরু দোষ আছে ঠিক আছে না নি এতে গুরু দোষ আছে she's got a problem that's why she's 28 29 she can't get married ইয়াল্লাহ ইগো সুলুল হয়ে গেছে ই বেচারা বিয়া করব কি তা পাইছে না ইবানি ইগো আল্লাহ ইগো তো খবর যাইবা জুগ হয়ে গেছে he's ready to go to his grave this guy he's bold how come he's not married oh my god How many girls has he turned away? How fussy has he become? What's the matter with him? Ekhon amra dush to kanit jay. We start looking for, problems. Everyone does this. Now, why are we doing this over and over again and nobody's addressing this? Nobody's addressing this. And I'll tell you one good reason them getting married at 22, 23, 24, if they're ready for marriage. If they're ready for marriage, I'll tell you one thing. Bangladesh দেখছেন আপনারা খেসমা ডাল. Have you seen in Bangladesh when you have a very soft green branch? Yes? দেখছেন তো আপনারা. If you have a soft green branch, the way you will bend it, the way you will put it into one trellis and another one you tie it around slowly, that branch bends like that. If it's green, it will bend. But as soon as the branch becomes brown, you can't bend it. It will break. When they're 22, 23, they're still young. Both of them will get together. He has some folds, she has some folds. Together they get together and, then they say, okay, we're going to become one. Because he says, okay, I'll give this in. She says, I'll give this in. And slowly they say, okay, we'll both, we'll lead our lives like this. When he's 31 and she's 30, He's already led a life of an independent life for 7 years. She's led an independent life of 6 or 7 years after college, university. Right? So he's like, I've got to have my house like this. I've got to have my life like this. These are my games. These are my boys. This is what I do. This is how I've been for the last 6, 7 years. She's like, yes, and I stand on my high heels. I'm taller than you because I'm on my high heels, okay? I am Miss America, okay? I have these rights, I have those rights, I have these, oh, I'm Miss Britain, I have these rights. I've already been independent for 6, 7 years, so you're not going to tell me what to do. One of our teachers said this, he said a brilliant thing. He said one thing, and I want you to understand it. One big Maulana from Bangladesh, I had a word with him. And he said to me, he asked me a question. He said, "Khub sundor kotha hoyse." He said, "Apnara je America, Canada, London or mati je biya hoy, Londoni biya korlo, Americaner biya korlo. Otar maze talak beshi, na jara Bangladeshe giya biya kore je ane otar maze talak beshi." So where is the divorce rate more? If a person goes from the West and finds a bride in Bangladesh, brings them back, is there more talaqs there, or is there more talaqs here when a person marries an American? So I said there's going to be more talaqs if you go over to the other east side and if you bring someone over. He said, why? I said, because they don't understand each other, their culture is not the same, they're going to have problems. He said, Bul khorsenafne. He said, you made a mistake. I said, okay, you explain to me, where is talaq more? He said, there's more talaq. He said, according to me, I've traveled. He said he's traveled England, America, and he's also a Bangladeshi scholar. So he said, Ami safar korsi, I've traveled all over. He said, Amar onuzay Amar gonamato, Afnara London matir ufre, American matir ufre, jara American de biya korse, erar maze beshi talaq. If you compare it, basically, Talaq to Dubai diase, but more so when a person from England gets married to a person from England. I said, why? So the Huzur gave a very good thing. He said, the person here who gets married to a person from here, okay, what happens is both of them come with a lot of power. You guys understand? You guys understand? He says, I'm American. She says, well, I'm American too. He says, well, I've got a degree. She goes, well, I've got a degree too, mister. He says that, you know me, I've got a job. She said, well, I've got a job. He said, well, I've got a bank balance and I've got salary so much coming in. She said, well, I've got good salary coming up so much as well. He said, I've got rights too, mister. And there's one thing that happens over here in these countries is, if the husband and wife have any problems, we all know that the law favors the women when it comes to the problems. As soon as they walk inside, I do understand some women have got, it's very sad, they've got domestic violence, and it's very sad, it should never happen. No man should ever lift his hand above his wife. I do understand that. But what I'm saying is, if there's a problem that we already know, the law is more favorable towards the women than towards the men. Now what happens, you know what he said? He said, আর তাইও আইব তাইর হলতালো ইয়াতে অহংকারী সিনা তারা বড়িয়ে দেখাইব আমার তো আছে ক্ষমতা তোমার তাকলে কি তইলে আমার তো আছে. So both of them come to the table. It's like, who are you? It's like, who are you? You got power, well, I got power too. Now there's a fight. At Bangladesh থেকে যে গেল আইব, whoever brings from Bangladesh, he গুতা এটা হলতা পারেন না. He গুতো এই ক্ষমতা নাই. You guys understand? Hasn't got that much power. So she comes over to this country, she doesn't know anything, she doesn't even know his language and he doesn't know her language. Igge Bangla matte pare na, igge English matte pare na. So this one can't speak English and that one can't speak Bengali. Ar ekhon jodi galagalit jain na igge gailde igge buje na ar igge gailde igge buje na. Because when this one swears, that one doesn't understand. When that one swears, that one doesn't understand. And what happened is, he said one big thing. He said, Bangladesh থেকে যে বেটিন আইবা, এরা খেদমতগার. The Bangladeshi girls that come from over there, they've basically got a service, they've got a way of doing a good service. So what happens is, ola 10 বছর তারা খাটিয়া যায় কি হে খেদমত পায় হিলা মায়া পায় খেদমতর মাঝে. So basically she's serving him and he finds the love through that, and after 10 years then they're like, okay, peace. You guys understand? Right? Now I'm not saying to you don't get married to Americans here. I'm not saying that. Guys, look, don't, after this lecture go, Hunchoni tumrado joldi Bangladesh eta hokoltiri biya koraitam. I'm not saying you do that, right? All I'm trying to say to you is that when you look at what's happened, there's a lot of things that we are missing out on. There's a lot of things that we're missing out on. And what we do here is we're sitting here in America. I don't mind. You want to find an American girl, find an American girl, fine. You want to find an American boy, find an American boy, fine. But tell me this. সংসার যেটা আছে, গড় যেটা আছে, we all know somebody has to look after the house. Yes or no? Yes? Okay. Now if the man says, I'm not going to look after the house, the woman says, I'm not going to look after the house, the man says, well, we got to eat, but I'm not going to cook. The woman says, well, we got to eat. I'm not going to cook because I'm a woman. I don't have to cook. The man says, well, I'm a man. I don't have to cook. Then tell me what's going to happen. What's going to happen? Tell me. It's World War III, right? It's going to be putushum. Amar khamata ase, tumar khamata ase, to kito ilo. Yeah? Next thing is a restaurant to dauka. Right? So you go to the restaurant. You go a few days to the restaurant, and it's very expensive. You can't kind of go to the restaurant. Then you get takeaways, right? Takeaway, anna khoyadin erfore ekhon ita takeaway beshi expensive, the too expensive. What do you do after that? Then someone has to go and cook. Now here's where the fight starts. And a lot of us, I don't know why, we have made our culture such that we get into all of this without realizing that we are creating the fight. What's wrong in preparing our children to become married men and women who are ready to take what we know as hoshto, what we know as something which you have to take as a burden? You have to be prepared for this. Otherwise, there's going to be fights in the house. There's going to be fights in the house. And what happens is, whatever I've said so far is when they get married. Before they even get married, a lot of us, because of our cultural habits, we might even spoil the wedding. We might even spoil the wedding. It's like, igur bongsho nai, igur zat nai, this and that. Now let's be honest with ourselves. If these boys and girls, if they are getting together and they want to go ahead and they want to get married and we're going to say, no, we're going to stand against that, then we better start thinking of what we're doing. Next thing is that they want to get married, we come in between, we say, khabin khotoito. We say how much you're going to have the khabin and how much you're going to have zaga, zomin, gor, whatever, right? Shuna, bori, whatever it is, right? Now, what happens here is, look, let's be honest with you. If it's an amount you're going to honestly give, then write it down. Fondobori shuna jodi take hasau tara dibate fondobori shuna lekhilaw ka ar tara dilaw ka nokot dilaw ka ba koyekdin pore dilaw ka, alhamdulillah, both parties are happy. If you're going to say desho bitre o zaga dewo oito, then please ASAP, as soon as you can, go to Bangladesh, register that land and give the land. What normally happens is we say that otobori shuna, this much zaga, this much this, hundar, kita, kiti, blah, 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 and we fill it to about 50, 60, 70,000 pounds, or 50, $70,000, okay? So you got $70,000, $80,000, right? And you fill it all up, but in the intention is not to give that much. The real thing is they don't want to give it. You know they're not going to give it, they know they're not going to give it. So they'll give maybe $10,000. They'll give $5,000. After that, they'll wait. She hasn't received it. You're not talking about bade shorom hore zikaite. Hasan. Ekhon zikaili ke mail lagbo, na mail lage na. When you go and ask for it, then there's going to be a fight. Afnala khali au zaga dibune dibu khoisi dibune. After bishwas horen na ne. We said we're going to give it. Why do you go out ask? That to after maze insha ase. But after lalos ase. They're going to say, well, you got some kind of greed inside you. Then they start fighting over this. I'm telling you the honest thing that's happened. After Shaykh Hasan and Misa, দুই জেনারেশন, দুই বংশ দুনিয়া থেকে গেছেন কি এবদরি দাদির খাবিনোর জায়গা দেওয়া হয়েছে না। The Hasana Misa. Right. So why are we causing this? whatever you're going to give, write that down and say as soon as, either you say, we want it now. You say, we want it now. We want it beforehand. But keep it low. You don't have to keep it 50,000. If it's 15,000, 20,000, because if you think that that's how much they can afford, that's how much they can give, 10,000, whatever the security is, say this much and get it. Give it as a security. Finish. No more argument. Therefore, amrar bayrer tinta. Why? Because of all the formalities we have. Remember I said to you, amrar maje ekta ijjot ekta ase, yalla yalla hokle manche kita hoibo. This thing kills all of us. Manche kita hoibo, yalla bafor ijjot jaibo. So because of that, now we get together for the wedding, we have like tens of fights. Why? Everybody wants to become the murabbi. Everybody wants to become the one in charge. Remember I said to you, there's a bit of a jealousy, a bit of a rivalry in ourselves. And when one person gets in position, the other person wants to take him down. Right? আমি আপনারা একটা ঘটনা শুনাইলাই দেশে আসলাম দরগা মাদ্রাসা পড়ছি আমাদের 20 বছর আগে I studied in Shah Jalal Dargah Madrasa about 20 years ago. So what I saw when this one person in Bangladesh, he goes slightly forward, then this other person wants to take him down. And when that person goes forward, somebody else wants to take him down. And then I said to these guys, I said, I don't understand this. Why are they all trying to take somebody, whoever goes to the front, they all want to take him down. Do you not know why? I said, why? He said, he said, whatever you eat, that's what you're going to become. So I said, what do you mean by that? He said, I'm not a mas beshi khai. I'm not a mas beshi khai. Mas holo go Allah'r makhluk je tar nizorre khaya boro hoy. You guys understand that or not? He said, the fish is the only creation of God that he eats his own kind and then he becomes big. I thought, wow, that is deep. I thought that is deep. But you know one thing we've got amongst ourselves, is at the sign, and then what happens is everyone gets scared. You look, same thing in the masjid, same thing at home, same thing for a wedding, same thing in any function. Everybody was, ola khoroin nakhene, hola khoroin nakhene, ola oito asil, amdar homuke ola khorsun, afnara khene khoroin na, why don't you do like this, like that? And everybody wants to put their little thing in. And then everyone gets scared. If you get too far ahead, people are going to put you down. So now sometimes what happens is nobody wants to talk, but everyone's got something to say. And the reason why we do this, all this complexity, is because of the way we are. We want to always sort of prove that we know it also. And we've got dignity and we want to prove ourselves. And that's why we get into this mess. So what happens is, with the habin, there's one argument. With the whole, when you want to hire a whole, ola holo itote omukre na dakhlo itonai, homukre na dakhlo itonai, yalla ende na dakhlo itote. So what happens is, we hire a hall for maybe 500 people, but we invite 700 to 800 people. We hire a hall for so many people to come, but the food is, we bring extra food, whatever, but we're going to stuff everyone inside. Then what happens is, we all know this, that when it comes to the actual day itself, there's going to be so many formalities. Yalla dudh khai sunni, baribar age dudh khawa lage, te ar mishti, oh my God, I forgot about the mishti. Mishti ze ana hoy, the mishti that we bring so much sweets, tar habigushti jodi khain te tara diabetes e morba. Tar habigushti jodi khain yoto mishti, te tar habigushti diabetes e morba. All of them will be dead with diabetes. But we'll bring that much. Why? Inside us there's one thing which is the showing of riyakari. Showing off. Amra dekhani lage je ha amra ase ba. Dekhaibar lage. Tumi ancho 10 kg ki ta amra 20 kg anchi. What you bought 10 kg, what's your 10 kg? You bought 20 kg. See who's bigger? Me or you? Who's bigger? Us or you? That's the whole point. Who spends more money, you or us? We're more generous. You're less generous. We proved your point. Okay. So then what they're going to do is after ranchila side tarhari first tarhari taranba baro tarhari. So you made 4-5 curries. They're going to make 12 curries. Just so do you see how many we made? Just to show that we're bigger than you now. Okay, you're bigger than us now. Then we're going to show you the next thing, we're bigger than you now. But you know the big man thing? Soon there's going to be a fight. ও মায়ের একটা আয় আসছে why because what happens is anya disi or mishtian disi what happens is we have a culture in our Bengali thing istari ফুরির কোনো ইস্তারি দেওয়া লাগে না দেওয়া লাগে না আল্লাহ এটা আপনারা কোন আয়াত শরীফে পাইলা কোন হাদিস শরীফে পাইলা ওটা দেখতে পাছিল আচ্ছা এখন ইস্তারি দেওয়া লাগে we're going to send the istari এখন ইস্তারি যে ফাটাইবো the first istari is going to be big istari we're going to buy the samosas the what not Allahu Akbar yeah so much food the whole street can eat it we're going to take it to one house why we're big we spend a lot of money do you see don't say that ijjat is not there our izzat is there all about ijjat right our dignity is there so don't you challenge us on this we've given so much then what happens is you can't carry on doing that every single year na প্রত্যেক বছর আপনারা ওলা লয়ে যাইতে পারবেন না যাইতে পারতে নাই হোকা মারে প্রত্যেক বছর যাইতে পারবেন না ওলা লয়া জি না so what happens the next year you're going to take a little bit less and they're going to say oh তার টাকা কমে গেল নি has the pocket got a little bit smaller না মনে হয় তারা ফুরির মায়া কমে গেছে maybe they don't love their daughter so much the third year you're going to take less এখন আপনারা চিন্তা করে ইয়াল্লা কতদিন ইস্তারি নিব that now you got a headache right so usually by the 5th year you don't send the istari and the year you never send the istari hogor থেকে আপনারা ফোন আইবো you never send the iftar basically those of you who don't understand this is the iftar that is sent in the Bengali culture every single year because the daughter is married in a certain house what happens is when you don't send the iftar for one certain year then there's going to be a call coming over why did you not send the iftari oh my god there's a massive fight right now nami misa matra kita lagi amra shuru horsi because of the culture and our forefathers have done it so we have to do it like this and the other thing that we're doing then is that in the wedding hall itself how we going to present it who's going to be there at on taki hen tan jo ekta mishti khabaitan he's got to put a mishti in her mouth and what he's going to all of these things subhanallah so many arguments over little things why I'm thinking why if these things are not done if these things are not done properly, then there's going to be a big fight. Do you know over there in England, there was one whole marriage spoiled. You know, there's a whole marriage spoiled on the wedding day. You know why? Khoinar gushtiye khoison amra lam biryani order sa Islam. Ar fatrar gushtiye khoison amra chicken biryani sa Islam. Ar because of the lam biryani, chicken biryani, they had a fight on the day of the wedding and the whole wedding is spoiled. Such little things. Why? And then what happens is when we've made the move and we've made the marriage, what happens is we've got to have a dawat in this house, dawat that house is fine, that's all done, okay? There's big things about this. And there's also in between there your gaya holud and you have your, what do they call it, mendi now? The big mendi, right? So they got to have a function of a mendi. So you know how many dawats there are now? You guys are dying. Mendi there is one for sinifan ekta ache na. So look how many dawats you bought. You bought the sinifan. Sinifan is like, you know, you got to sweeten the mouth because we've had the proposal coming through. Then you have one which is the mendi. So the massive cost, all the women get together. Now all the men as well get together. Alright? And they have the big functions, whatever they do. All the food is on you, so you got to provide for all of that. Then you have the nikah and so on. So you got to have, sometimes you have a separate nikah, so you got to prepare for private food. Then you have the actual nikah there, you got to provide for food for 500 people or so many people. Then you got the olima and so on. Some people combine the two together, say Allah zanhan basao. That's fine. So you done that. And then after that you got dawat, after dawat, then the big fight after that. You know which fight it is? You know fight it is? Arafta maida se. Then indi kunta. Nairi le maid. Nairi. Now Nairi might nine. Asena. The biggest problem I find about this is Nizor Furire Zela Afne Rakhon Ila Afnar Farbore Rakhunna. Furir Nayori Aibar Shomoy Kunu Hishab Nai. Furizo Afnar Furizo Kan Afnar Baitai, Nairitai, Kunu Hishab Nai. কিন্তু আপনার ফারবো যখন গড়তা কি যাইবো আরো গড় নাইরিত এই সময় দস্তখত দেওয়া লাগে তে কিতা করাতে মশওয়ারা করা লাগে পরামর্শ করা লাগে মুনামুরি কিছু করা লাগে তো বাদে টানা টানি করিয়া তে যাইস কিন্তু 2 হপ্তাহ লাগে আইতে হইবে রবিবারে দিন আইতে হইবে Am I right or am I not saying the right thing? So the way they treat their daughter and they treat their daughter-in-law, there's a massive difference. And tell me please, why is that the reason? Tell me why is that the reason? And all of you now, some of you are sitting there with straight faces looking at me thinking, oh my God, he's bringing everything out today. Let's be honest. Why have we created this? When our daughter is in another house and they make her cook so much, there's a lot of complaints that we make it against them, right? But when another man's daughter is in my house and there's so much cooking going on, then we want more and more and there's no complaints about it. When my daughter is coming to my house, then 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, however long she wants to stay, it's fine. But when another man's daughter is married into my house and she has to leave my house for another house, then it's like, why didn't she come at the end of 2 weeks? That's it. We're having a big fight right now. Under whose permission did she stay 1 day over, 2 days over, 3 days? Why? There's huge fights. Why? I'm asking, can anyone explain why? Why is the reason for this? The reason is because we're so attached to our culture, our ways, our norms, our behaviors, that this is the case that is happening. The next thing happens, I want to say a few more things that are highlighted, please. I want us as a community to change all of this. Because you don't need to do this. I'll be straight with you. I'm on my own wedding. This was 20 years ago. I know it was 20 years ago. But I got it done for less than £1,000. The whole thing. Less than £1,000. That's like $1,300 or something. Less than that, I got the whole thing done. I had one dish. I did it in the masjid. I couldn't fit everyone together. So what I did is I put them in 2 different days. I put 250 in one day, 250 another day. I made them eat on the floor, no decor, no chairs, no nothing. You're going to say to me, Ya Allah, ita kiza turbiya. You're going to say, what kind of wedding is this? So what, man? So what? Had it on the floor, had everyone sitting there eating, men separate, women separate, had it on 2 days because I couldn't fit everyone inside. Okay, less than what you call $1,300, got everything done. Everything done. I had one dessert, one kulfi dessert, that's all it was. You like it, if you don't, go home. Seriously, one biryani, you like it, if you don't, there's another restaurant around the corner, go and eat over there. One dish, one dessert, alhamdulillah, salam, go, finish, that's the wedding done. No, this mendi, and no, this function, that function, this function, no. Just finish. I have a function once and for all, do it and gone. Why can't we keep it simple? And you know what happens? When you make the mahar and the habin, the amount, when you make it a lot, people get put off from marriage. People get put off. They say, well, we can't afford it. And then zina becomes cheap. For them to do zina becomes cheap because you put the price so much, so high to get married. You have to have $50,000, $70,000. That's just the khabin thing. You have to have $30,000 for the hall or something. You have to have $10,000 for the food or something. You have to have another $5,000, $10,000 for the decor or something. You have to have this many $1,000 for this, for that. Invitation cards. You have to have 2 invitation cards. You have to have 3 of them. You have to have 3 of them. 1 for the mendi, 1 for the nikah, 1 for the thing groom. You have to post it, give it to them. All this hassle. Why? Because you bought it on yourself. Can't you make it very easy, simple? I'll tell you one simple way of doing it. Do it in the masjid. Have the whole nikah in the masjid, everything, food, everything in the masjid. Give a donation to the masjid. Finish. Easy, simple, go. If someone says to you, Yalla, ita kizator biya, ita kuru ijjotor biya ni. Ita says, apna ijjot kisi. Say, Allah's ke samar ijjot ase. I've got my izzah, I've got my dignity with Allah Azza wa Jal. We make it so difficult for these youngsters. And one thing, please, Try and make a mentality of them. I know some of them are not ready for marriage, but if they are ready for marriage at 22, 23, that's the best age to get them married. Degree finish, no finish, job there, no job there. If you can get them married at that age, they're more likely to stay together if you can, if they're mature enough, and if you also stay out of their way. I tell you another one problem that has happened now is, you know, when my mother got married, I want to make this quite clear to you, I want you to understand this, right? My mother, when she got married, she was told by her mother, Ogo Furi, Ogor Tagize Aisku Zairai, Ar Igor Tumar Gor Nai. Oh my daughter, you're leaving this house today. This house is never going to be your house ever again. Hono, Zeta O Kannao. Whatever happens over there, that is your house, that is your home. You've got to make it. There's no breaking. There is no breaking. That is your home, you make it. You make your home, you make your future, you make your life. You stay there, you live there, you die there. Yes, you can come and visit us, but this is never your home. If you break your marriage, then it's on you. We're not going to be people who just going to take you in this house again. No, so you better watch out. I'm just telling you, this was what was told to my mother, so many years back. You know what we say to our daughters now? Ogofuri, my sister, my daughter. That is what we say, yeah? If he messes around, call me, I'll come and I'll break his bones. If he messes around, right, we're going to all come. We're going to come with our entourage. We're going to park our cars outside. We're going to bring our baseball bats. We're going to show him who we are. And then once we sorted him out and sorted his family out, then we're going to take you back to this house. And this house is your house. You can always come back here, your house. Anything happens, tell us, we're there up in arms. Now you thinking that you've done the best thing. I'm fine. Okay, fine. Maybe some of you are saying, well, that's my sister, that's my daughter, that's what we do. But you've got to understand what the mentality is now that you said that. Now that you said that, she's thinking, anything happens, I've got to report it back. So she goes to the house, and a small thing happens, she starts to WhatsApp the family. Anything small. Now look, if it's major, I understand. Tell your family. If something major is happening, straight away involve your family. I'm not saying don't do that. But small things start to come. And then these things in WhatsApp. WhatsApp is a very big disease. WhatsApp, be very careful. WhatsApp, social media is a very big disease. I'll tell you what the disease is. আমি যদি আপনার মুখে মুখে হতা হই তা আপনি আমার চেহারা দেখবা আমার গলার আওয়াজের পরিমাণ মাপবা কিভাবে আমি হইছি আপনার হলতাম মাফিয়া বুঝবা আমি কিতা আমি আসলে মানছি না মানছি আপনার একটা ঠের আইব ঠিক না When I'm speaking to you face to face, you're going to look at my face, you're going to look at my body language, you're going to look at my face cues, my eye cues, you're going to measure my tone of my voice, you're going to know the context, and face to face, then you'll know whether I'm upset with you or I'm not upset with you, right? If it's WhatsApp, there's no face cues, there's no body language, there's no voice, there's no high pitch, low pitch, there's nothing. It's just a straight thing that's come through. And you at the other end, you have to then say whether this is something that's come, which is angry, not angry. You are the one on the other end interpreting this. Do you guys understand or no? You don't understand? You guys don't understand? You understand? You don't understand? Okay, let me give you an example. If I say, go to the market. If I say go to the market, let's just go to the market. But if I say go to the market, is it different or it's not different? Yes? If I say go to the market, it's very different. If I put the emphasis on the market, it's different. If I put the emphasis on the go, it's different. If I say in a soft tone, it's different. If I say in a high tone, it's different. In a text message, you can't understand anything. Now, these text messages fly around. And another big disease, I'm telling you, is happening right now. Hokhlor ato phone aiche, hokhlor ato camera, hokhlor ato video, hokhlor ato recording voice recording device aiche. Everybody's got a phone in the hand, everyone's got a camera in the hand, everyone's got a video in the hand, video camera in the hand, everyone's got a voice recorder in their hands. So now it's very dangerous. What happens in many cases I'm hearing now. Both ola khota hola amrar gesar. Ze ono boya boya ekjone record holil join khota. Somebody sat down, they recorded the conversation. Then they sent the recording to so-and-so. Then they forwarded to so-and-so, forwarded. Then everyone's heard the conversation, but the conversation was a private conversation. Or someone recorded something and sent it. Are you supposed to send private messages of others or record them without their knowledge and send it to others, yes or no? No. And if you send it, is there going to be a fight, yes or no? Yes. And what kind of fight's going to happen if there's a marriage involved? What's going to happen? Tell me. It's going to get to divorce. It's going to get to huge fights between the families. And my advice is that all of this has to stop. We as parents and people who are in charge of these youngsters, we have to take responsibility. We have to tell our young daughters, our young sons that this is not what you do. This is not life. You don't put your private life on a public platform. Do you guys understand? Yeah. Guys, you guys understand? Talk to me. You don't put your private life on a public platform. There's going to be a big, huge argument if you do that. Massive fights. I've just had 3 or 4 phone calls in the last 1 month to do with this. Somebody recorded it, somebody sent it, and a huge fight. You know how big of a fight? It came almost to talaq. One case, it was a talaq. Because a private conversation was sent over. Now, I know you have to protect your daughters. I know you have to protect these girls. I understand that. But you have to make a mentality for the daughters and for the sons as well to behave, to be responsible, to look after one another. Yes, our sons also have to be responsible. They have to also look after these girls. They have to look after these daughters that they've taken another man's daughter in the hands. But we as parents have to prepare all of that. Now, the next thing I want to say is this is what happens. Okay? Some of you are thinking, how did we lose our sons and daughters? How do we lose them? When a child is born, especially a child is born in our Bengali families, we want to give it everything we can. We don't want this child to even cry. Khanbaro amra ekta sujug dei na bachchare. So we ek kurta ki arak kuro amra dei bachchare. Yes or no? From one lap to another person we're giving it. You don't have to do so much. You're already going overboard. Yalla khandi sweet khaila. Why? Why are you spoiling the child? Why are you doing all of this? Why are you bringing these things inside the house? Why? Because you're spoiling the kid now. The kid grows up spoiled. You give so much love, especially the grandfather, the grandmother. The parents as well, if the child says, I want something, straight away they'll give it to the child. The child makes a wish, the child gets it. Any toy he wants, anything he wants the sneakers, he wants a certain brand name, clothing, he gets it straight away. So we gave a lot of attention to the child all the way up to the age of 12. What then happens also is, the child, we bring them to the masjid and we put them into the maktab, and all they're learning in the maktab is how to recite the Quran, how to do a few salahs, how to know a few masail in the religion. They know a few things about this, and by the age of 12, when they finish the Quran khatam, that's the biggest day. We bring the mishti, whatever it is, we bring in the masjid. We have a big function. Yalla the whole ogle dua karo amar fuad Quran sharif khatam khorse. Yes, even your child is happy. I've not fought the kum kushi. Thar kushi zan nikita. Thar kushi wele ke yaar kune din masjid aitna. You're happy, he's finished his Quran, he's happy, he doesn't have to come to the masjid again. Khatam is finished. What we should have done is this. We should have separated the tilawa from the qira'ah. We should have said, you read to Ustad, you can finish your Quran, but I want you to finish several Quran before that in my house. You can carry on reading in the house, so your tilawa should be continuous throughout your life. We should have done that. But we made it a target. We kept on putting pressure on the Mashabs. We said that Quran should kundin khatam hoite. We made a competition between ourselves. Yalla, yalla, tan fa gese gi, shatai sharat gese gi, amari ko 22 sharat roise, to amari izzat jaibe gi. His one is 27 Jews, my one is 22 Jews, and I'm going to be finished. Oh my God, let me go and grab the Masabzi and maybe wring his neck and tell him quickly, take my son forward. So he takes him forward, and then by the time the Quran is finished, that's the day when your son stops or your daughter stops coming to the masjid. By the age of 11, 12, they stop coming to the masjid. Now, 11 up to the age of 11 and 12, we gave a lot of love to these kids. Up to the age of 11 and 12, what happened? These kids came to the masjid, they learned a few things, and after that they left the masjid. Do you know one thing? They don't open the Quran for a very long time after that. We don't tell them to open the Quran, they don't open the Quran. Now, the age when our children should have had a lot of attention from us as parents, যে বৈশ আমরা তারারে বেশি বেশি সময় দিতাম আসিল 12, 13, 14, 15 ইতা বৈশ বাচ্চাইন্তরে বেশি বেশি টাইম দেওয়া লাগে। ইমাম সাহেব একটু ওভার হইলে ঠিক আছে নি কমিটি তোরা ওভার হইলে গেছে তোরা ওভার কমিটি মেম্বার হলো আসেনি কেউ নাই নি তে একটু তোরা ওভার হইলে হইবনি কথা শেষ হইলে তো আপনারা আমরা হলো এক লগে নামাজ পড়লি মানে ওকে what happens is 12, 13, 14, 15 these 12, 13, 14, 15 age we're supposed to give a lot of attention to these teenagers that are growing up. You know what we do? We give less attention to them. That's the time when they find more of a connection with their school friends, more of a connection with the high school, with their outside life, with their games, with the PlayStations, with their Xboxes, and we at home, all we're doing is we're looking after the younger brothers, younger sisters. Hitara khali sweet khabairam, hitara khali boro khorram, hitara fet fatairam khabaya. Right? We're giving them loads of stuff. And because they're 12 বছর হয়ে গেছে 13 বছর, this one is 12, 13, 14, we're giving them less attention. So because they find less attention from the parents, and the younger ones find a lot of attention, these teenagers, they make more stronger connections outside with their friends and on social media. By the time they get 16, 17, some of them are not listening to us, but we kind of think it's still okay. By the time they're 18, 19, 20, now they've made a full life outside. With college, university, the only link to the house is bathani. The only link to the house is to eat some rice and curry. The only link to the house is he's got a bed, he's got a mattress, he has hot showers, and he says, Salam alaikum, salam alaikum. Oh, balas. Hey, tor kita, tor college kila. Shundur, soler. It's okay, everything. You got no connection with how he's studying, what his grades are, how he's doing inside there, what friends he's hanging around with. 10 whole years from 12 to 22, or 12 years from 12 to 24 goes where there's little attention to them. Most of the attention was given to him from 0 to 12. After that we give little attention. Then at 24, when he wants to or she wants to have a different lifestyle, when they don't want to get married to who you want them to get married to, when their culture is not there, their culture has become something different, when they don't want to listen to you, then you think that there's a big problem. Now you're going to think somebody's done zadu. Khe zadu kar niche. Amar fare khe zadu kar nozor dile se zadu kar niche. Somebody has done black magic on my son, on my daughter. Somebody's done something to them. What do you mean? There's no jinn, there's no zadu. The biggest jinn is you. The biggest jinn is you. Where was you for the last 12 years? You got no connection with them. You don't know what they're doing, what they are doing, not doing, none of that. And then what happens is, when you've lost them, then it's too late and you turn back. I want to tell you one thing. In our masjids, one of the greatest things that we do, and I want you to understand this, Hafizizi Amra Farai. I want to tell you another thing, okay? The youngsters who are here, if you've got any, if I want you to understand, I want the elders to understand as well. You know the hifz that we teach inside our masjid, hifz has to be taught by knowing the religion as well. You have to teach them fiqh, you have to teach them masail, you have to teach them aqidah, their beliefs, you have to teach them about the religion, and that's when they will become a good hafiz. If you don't teach them that, they will become a hafiz of the Quran. They've memorized a lot of the Quran, but they don't know the religion. You know what will happen? They will parrot fashion memorize the Quran, but they don't know the Quran. They've got no connection with the Quran. After a while, they will forget the Quran. Or they will only read the Quran in Sha'ban for Ramadan. Sha'ban they'll start the Quran, for Ramadan a few rakats, they'll only also read just a few rakats they're supposed to do. So 2 rakats he's been given, 4 rakats he's been given, he will learn that for 2 months. The rest of the 16 rakats he doesn't even know. He hasn't even read. He doesn't even know what's in there. And that's what happens. What happens after that, you know what? People, you'll be surprised. People who have not been given a good foundation in the deen from the maktab level, from an early age, they will then find a reason to be detached from the religion. My youngsters, if you've got any doubts about the religion, about Allah, about His Messenger, there's a lecture I've got on YouTube which I did recently, about 3 months ago. The title is, We Need Some Answers from God. If you've got any of those doubts, I want you to look at the lecture and to understand some of the things that I've said over there. For the community, I'm saying here, we need to understand that these children who come to the maktab, they need a full understanding. One of the things I have done myself with a team of people is safarpublications.org. We've got a number of books that is a complete syllabus that we want people to have a comprehensive understanding of the religion. Our hifz in our Safar Academy, our hifz, they are also given religious understanding. They not only become hafiz, but they have true religious understanding. And when they become hafiz, they have a good, alhamdulillah, they have a good connection with the religion. I'm telling you, one of the things that we need to change in our cultures with the things I've said, please, be people who look forward, be open-minded, be brave to do something different which you don't have to do. Don't always just follow what the culture tells us and demands us to do. I want you to understand that these children, they're going through a phase where their whole life is ahead of them and we are shaping their lives. And as a summary of the talk, I'm going to tell you, please make it easy for our children to get married at an early age. Prepare them to get married at an early age. Give them support, but not so much support that they break their marriage. I'm asking you to make sure that the entire system of them, not only from youth we're not supposed to spoil them. At teenage we're supposed to give them a lot of good time. Maktab and the madrasa, they come to the masjid, is supposed to be a comprehensive learning. And then throughout the teenage life we're supposed to stay connected with them. Ask them, talk to them, be with them. When it comes to the married life, have a bit of a compromise. Understand what they want, understand what you want, and have a midway thing between them. But don't leave them in such a way that because of your culture, you're going to spoil their marriage, or because of their understanding, they're not going to accept any of the good things that you've got to give them. May Allah Azza wa Jal give us tawfiq and give us ability to do whatever goodness I've said. I do ask forgiveness from you if I've said something which is not of your liking, of your taste or something. But I really feel sorry for some of you over here, because your society is already very, very liberal. Your American society is very, very liberal. You can't say much to your children. It's a very difficult thing for you to even bring them to the madrasa, for you to even bring them to the masjid. But I want you to understand that if you carry on being soft and gentle and liberal and so on, you're going to lose your own children from your own hands. And to change all of this, please open your mind, do the best you can for them. May Allah Azza wa Jal give us tawfiq. Jazakumullah khair. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.